graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised.
You know, I've been from one side of this fandom to the other. In all that time, I have seen a lot of things. Above all that, there is one thing I am absolutely certain of. I am the villain of this story. You know what time it is, Valhalla? Raise your horns, Valhalla! Yeah, I love that. Oh, nothing to get you pumped up in the morning than getting on Mornings of Mischief Loki. Oh shit, I'm ready to go. Hello, everybody.
You have the best intros, Loki.
He does. It's awesome.
Oh, good morning. Good morning, panel. Good morning. Good morning, chat.
Good morning.
Morning.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that music will blow your hair back.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh man, a couple of those intros I'm just like, yeah, in the morning. Some of them not so much, but that one I'm just like, yeah, dun 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 dun. Oh, good morning, everybody. Good morning, chat. Oh, good morning, Chris Persia, Mark the Emily Tired. The wrenches are here. Good morning. Oh, we got Purple Valkyrie in the booth and in the chat. Thank you. Good morning, Purple Valkyrie. Bod Racing Palpatine, Dave G Sound. Good morning, Psychodorf 9. Good morning, Psychodorf, the Catman, aka DD Myers. Why isn't it just DD Myers? Why are you going by the Catman now? I don't know. Brightest Day. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Pat S, Rambling Canuck, Mary's Game Room. Good morning. Good morning, Gun Bunny. Pat S. I don't know if I said Pat S. This morning. I'm still waking up and trying to form words. I need more caffeine. But one thing I do know, holy shit, we are talking about the man, the myth, the legend, Quentin Tarantino this morning, who has been
What? I thought we were talking Ed Wood.
Ed who? I'm just kidding. Yes, I know who Ed Wood is. No. Kill Bill, Inglourious Bastards, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Quentin Tarantino, Jackie Brown, man, Kill Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you talking about that guy?
But Plan 9.
Django Unchained, man.
The Django.
Oh, I'm sorry. I love that movie. When he hands that guy that shotgun at the beginning of the movie and he's looking at him like, man, you crazy? You handed me the shotgun? He's like, here, hold this. Look at while he's looking for his papers. And he's like, really? You just handed me the shotgun? Are you crazy? Oh man. I just everything about this guy in film I love. And if it's true and he's only got one movie left in him, shit, man, is that going to be another Kill Bill movie? Is that going to be something completely out of left field? He's made so many insane films, even the ones that I'm like, they're still insane. Hateful Eight,
Yeah.
the unedited version of, I watched that the other night. It was like 4 hours. I was like, damn, he made a 4-hour version of the Hateful Eight. And still, I'm just like, you know what? I'm meh about this movie, but it's absolutely insane. It's an absolutely insane movie. So I still love it.
I was like that about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I was like, I can see where he's going with this, but
What was your guys? I'm going to go around the panel. We're going to go a weird way. We're going to go backwards. So we'll start with Josh. What was your first introduction to Tarantino?
I don't remember. I think it was Pulp Fiction.
Okay. And at the time, what did you think at the time?
Well, I didn't see it till years later. It was one of those, because I was 10 when it came out.
So you were like Butch. You were like Butch in part 2 of Pulp Fiction, where he's like, I'm gonna tell you a story about this watch, kid. Huh? What about you, Loriana? What about you?
Pulp Fiction. So many people were talking about that movie by word of mouth. It was just crazy. It was just like word of mouth got out about the movie, and then there was, the trailers on TV, and it was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. So that hooked me.
Heck yeah. And Captain Spire with a $2 super chat says, ever see the Quentin Tarantino Star Trek video? The preview for the Star Trek movie he could have made? Yeah, it would have been like Shaft in space. I'd have loved that.
Oh man, that would have been cool. Yeah, it would have been cool.
Could you imagine Samuel L. Jackson either as Spock or as a Klingon and like pistol whipping someone with a phaser, the butt of a phaser? Shut your mouth. I could see that.
Well, how about Cisco?
Yeah.
Throwing an F-bomb in there every other sentence.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I could see Cisco punching on a punching bag. Samuel L. Jackson. He lied. He fucking lied to me. Pow, pow, pow. Yeah. I had him in my home. Pow, 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 pow. I had the motherfucker over for dinner. I'd love it.
I am sick of these motherfucking Jem'Hadar on this motherfucking planet.
Exactly.
Oh my god! Oh yes. Yeah.
Communicator has big bad MF on it, Wallet.
Do you see that ship?
Oh, it's so
The one
easy.
that says bad motherfucker on it.
Yep.
Oh shit! What about you, Dave?
Well, with me, it was Reservoir Dogs. That hooked me. That film right there hooked me right from the beginning. That was one of the most quirky heist films I'd ever seen.
Yeah, and you never see the heist. You never
Yep.
once see the heist. So
Very quirky.
for me, it was again Pulp Fiction. It wasn't anything that I'd ever seen before because it's kind of a black comedy. It's a neo-noir film, and I just remember having such a great cast. John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, Uma Thurman. It was just a really fun film.
I saw Reservoir Dogs first, but the first thing I really remember, because I didn't know who the hell Quentin Tarantino was. I didn't know who the hell Quentin Tarantino was. I just remember seeing this movie, it's like movie about diamonds,
Mm-hmm.
and But I remember, I will always remember seeing the previews for Pulp Fiction
Oh
and
yeah.
the cast list. They had,
Oh yeah.
you remember that? How like they had that giant cast list that would
It was
scroll down the screen.
crazy. And then they had showed what Harvey Keitel.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the cast on that was stellar. That was, a much better film, I believe, than Reservoir Dogs. But my introduction was Reservoir Dogs.
Didn't that film kind of resurrect John Travolta in a way?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't imagine that. All right.
He was a has-been.
So yay.
It was nice to see he was still living. Put it that way. That's important.
Tarantino was talking to Travolta in the middle of making that movie about doing a follow-up to this and having him and the guy who played Vincent Vega from Reservoir Dogs, and they were going to call it the Vega Brothers. We'll call it Vega Brothers or something, and we'll have Vincent and Vinny Vega from Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. And after Pulp Fiction came out and John Travolta got huge again after that, he couldn't get him on the phone.
Wow.
Yeah. You could never get him to come back and do it. That was one of like the things that was going to come out of this. You had him talking to Uma Thurman about doing a standalone movie about the death squad that she was going to be on. She was, she talked to Travolta about the pilot she did, and
Love me some Uma.
and they were going to do a movie just about that, just based on that, and it was going to be called The Bride. And that all those ideas sat in like a drawer in Quentin's house forever until he finally pulled it out. And I was like, you know what? We never did this movie. Let's do this movie. And they called it Kill Bill. The first time I heard him tell that story about Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, about how they had talked about doing that and they just called it The Bride, and they had this weird story, and then he pulls the script idea out and he starts actually writing it with Uma, and I was just like, that's badass. That's absolutely badass to just pull that out, like 20 years later and be like, hey, you know what? Let's do this. Or 10 years later, however long it was. Hey, let's do this movie that we thought about 10 years ago.
Wow.
I just love it because he's over the top with his violence.
How was that, Dave Bob?
I don't know. I can't think of anything right offhand.
Except for ripping someone's eyeball out and the 5-finger death touch.
Yeah.
Oh, can I just say that scene with the adrenaline shot?
Oh.
I was taking a screenwriting class at the time, and my professor literally, he was just like, he was stoked because I'm gonna give you an example of suspense drawn out with cinematography, and he used that scene from Pulp Fiction.
Oh, that was great. That was a great scene.
That was set up that's the setup and just the aftermath of that. I was just like, I'd never seen anything like that in my life. It was insane. It still gives me the creeps, and it's one of my favorite parts of that movie still.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You mean I gotta stab her with it? No.
Do you know who this is? Do you know who Marcellus Wallace is?
I'm going to be forced to explain to him how you let this bitch die on your lawn.
But don't you know that ultra violence in movies is very toxic, and that's why Quentin Tarantino needs to be canceled? Oh my god!
He is not afraid to use anything.
No.
Damn
Nope.
sure. When you see old Rose McGowan spinning around with that daggum machine
the
gun on her
machine gun.
leg.
Yeah.
Heck,
Wow.
when you see Brad Pitt dressed up, and I want my Nazi scalps.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And that
me and
baseball bat.
God. The Jew bear. It takes the Dirty Dozen in a whole new direction. Mark the Infinitely Tired. Of course, someone was going to bring this up. I knew it was going to be you. Mark. Always trouble out of you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Gimp scene. That still makes me cringe every time I watch Pulp Fiction. Bring out the Gimp. Oh, he's sleeping. We'll go wake him up. The first time I can't, God, how old, I can't remember how old I was, but when they slammed that door and I was like, what are they doing to, oh no,
Yeah.
no, oh yeah. That's
They went
exactly
there.
what they're doing.
They went there.
And me and my best friend that Bartleby that's in chat sometimes, we're sitting there and just like, no. And then at the end where he's like, you hear me, Billy badass motherfucker, I'm gonna go medieval on your ass. I'm like, oh shit. Get a couple of brothers with a pair of pliers and a blowtorch. I was like, I love Bing Rames. I love Bing Rames. I will love Bing Rames to the day I die. From now henceforth. Oh, a pair of pliers and a blowtorch.
Get medieval one. Oh, that's where that phrase like stuck in the pop culture lexicon. We're gonna get medieval on his ass.
Oh shit. No, I meant, are we cool? Oh shit. Because he goes, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's one of the things that I love about this movie is it swings between absolute cringe, like literally almost over the edge, and then the dark humor that they throw in to kind of like snap us back to, not to reality, but kind of like, okay, to pull us back over the ledge. It just seems to roll that way in this film.
Would you give a guy a foot massage? My feet are really hurting right now. I could really use a foot massage. And he's just, shut up. I'm getting kind of pissed here. All right. I made my point. Shouldn't have thrown him over a building for a foot massage. Would you give a guy a foot massage? You shouldn't have been touching Marcellus Wallace's new wife.
Yeah.
It ain't in the same league. It ain't even in the same fucking sport. You're just watching two guys. I mean, you're watching two guys in a car at the beginning of this movie, and then they're like, man, we need shotguns for this shit. What? Wait a minute. What?
Oh, and then the scene where they oh God, why this it's a darn shame that I'm blanking on the actor's name, and I really need to be kicked for this. But when they go with those the apartment where those kids are, shake him down, he accidentally shoots the kid in the head. No, I think John Travolta did. He accidentally shot him, and he was just talking, and it's all of a sudden, boom, like, oh my God, did he really just shoot him in the head?
Okay, go back, Lorena, go back and watch that scene. It is not an accident. You see him squeeze. You see his finger.
Really?
Yes. It's one of those things that, like, I just noticed one day. I'm like, that son of a bitch. He squeezes on the trigger and you see him. And it's a point because when he does it, he said, do you think God's going to come down from heaven and stop a bullet? And in the middle of saying bullet, he shoots the kid in the face. No, he did it on purpose to be like, fuck you, Jules.
Okay,
fuck
you know
God.
what? I'm going to take that. I'm going to slow it down and watch it because I did not expect for him to shoot like that. I
Yeah,
remember that just freaks me out.
That wasn't no bump in the road. That was him being a dick because he told Jules God's not going to come down from heaven and stop a bullet. And Jules like, no, man, you need to take this as like, God telling you need to get out. And he's like, no, fuck you, Jules. Fuck you. That's bullshit. And you see his hand. You see his finger squeeze on the trigger. And you're just like, oh, that sorry son of a bitch did it on purpose. Poor Marvin got shot in the face.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's just I just noticed it from nowhere one day. I was just like, that son of a bitch did it on purpose.
Had to prove a point.
Yeah.
Ow.
Put the car in the back.
Oh my God.
Oh, Harvey Keitel.
Mm-hmm.
The wolf.
Yes.
Yep.
Now that is him carrying his character over from Reservoir Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. Well, Ving Rhames is supposed to be someone. I remember someone saying once that Ving Rhames is supposed to be the guy who got the diamond heist. That Band-Aid on the back of his neck. That's the same Band-Aid that guy has in Reservoir Dogs. Is that Band-Aid on the back of his neck, and that's where the soul went in, and it's supposed to be the devil. The guy that Ving Rhames plays is supposed to be the devil in Pulp Fiction. So Marcellus Wallace.
But that's how Tarantino does his films, isn't it? They're all supposed to have some sort of connection to each other. It's like his own kind of universe that he's built.
Yes,
Yep.
with alternate history. That's what and you mentioned Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's his own dimension, his own reality, his own universe. That's why history can be different. That's why history is different in Glorious Bastards. That's why every history has like red apples. That's his cigarettes. That's his own brand of cigarettes. You see that in Pulp Fiction with Bruce Willis. Give me a pack of red apples. They're smoking red apples in Reservoir Dogs. They have red apples in Inglourious Bastards. They have red apples in Kill Bill. There's signs for red apples. They carry samurai swords on planes in Kill Bill. It's absolutely normal. That's like their version of a revolver in the Wild Wild West.
I thought that was the case.
The Marlboro Man.
Yeah, Pat S. That was where his soul was taken from, the one in the briefcase. That's what's supposed to be in the briefcase. Some people say it's Nazi gold in the briefcase. Some people say it's his soul. It's all what it is,
Mm-hmm.
And Speaker for the Dead. Damn, YouTube didn't send me a notification, so I'm late. Good morning, Speaker. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's up YouTube's ass this morning.
Good job, YouTube.
Nailed it.
What about the language? I've heard so much stuff when he did Hateful Eight. People were wanting to get him canceled because of the language he uses.
Mm-hmm. And Django Unchained.
Yeah, and Django. Oh my God, it's everywhere in Django. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not like it was anything new. I mean, you knew what you were getting into going into the movie.
And Pat S. So pretty please, motherfucker, with sugar on top. Clean the fucking car. Oh shit. Thank you, Pat S.
I was never bothered by it because, as you guys are saying, it's a Tarantino film. You can't, by this stage, you kind of know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
If you go see his film. So, but yeah, they were definitely trying to cancel him.
Yeah, that's the way he makes films. I mean, they're ultra violent and they're ultra colorful language.
And that's what we expect,
Right.
from a Tarantino film. We expect it to be raw, unfiltered, and going back to language, he captured the language that was used in that time period. So it's like if you're going to try and like cancel Quentin Tarantino, you need to cancel a whole bunch of other people who have done period films and pieces around that time of like Django Unchained.
Yeah, and Samuel Jackson's said the exact same thing you just said. It's always been part of what made those movies is that it's an unfiltered version. This is what you got. This is what you get.
Mhm.
This is real. This is real. This isn't some watered down crap script where everything's hunky dory.
It's like Lorena said. It's raw. I mean, it's out there. It's like an exposed nerve.
A reflection of reality, says Smoking Wraith. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't do it to shock. That's the thing. It's an uncensored version, and that's what you get. But I think it makes the films better because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, if you saw a film and you didn't see those elements in it, and Quentin Tarantino was, the director, you'd walk away disappointed. At least I know I would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think about him being in his movies?
It's fine.
He's not the best actor in the world, but he plays some pretty funny parts in most of them. First thing I think I ever really remember seeing him in was From Dusk Till Dawn, but it wasn't his movie. Other than he wrote it, he didn't direct it. But
yeah,
that was the first thing I believe I ever actually remember seeing him in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'd agree with that as well. As an actor with a main role, yeah, definitely.
The first time I knew, I was like, holy shit, that's the guy who made Pulp Fiction, was Desperado. I don't know why I didn't know who he was before. He's in Pulp Fiction, he's in Reservoir Dogs, he's in these movies. And I remember watching the credits for Desperado going, whoa, wait a minute, Quentin Tarantino. And then rolling back and going, holy shit, he's the guy at the bar. I'm pissing all over the bar. I'm pissing all over the bartender, and he's like, I just bet all these guys, all this money that I could piss on you. I could piss on your bar, and there wasn't a damn thing you could do about it. In fact, you'd be happy about it. And I was like, holy shit, that's the guy that's making these movies.
And directors appearing in their films is nothing new. It's Hitchcock famously did that too.
Yeah,
I think it's the same thing.
That's why he does it. That's why he does it. That's why he's like, man, I'm making a movie. I can do whatever the hell I want to. Sure, I'll be in my own movie. And he's good too. The role he plays in From Dusk Till Dawn, holy shit, man. Do you wanna come over and sit with me and watch TV? Do you want to come over here? You're like, you creepy fucker, man.
I just remember the scene with him and Selma Hayek. It's like, oh.
How can you not remember that scene with Selma? Woo!
Holy shit. And again, that's a first. I think that's the first time I ever saw her in anything. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yowza!
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Catman, aka D.D. Myers, I'm with Dave Bob. He makes his characters pop. And Psychodorf 9 Desperado is still my favorite. The suitcase, guitar, machine gun, rocket launcher, suitcase filled with guns. It's just like, holy crap, I love it.
Well, him and Robert Rodriguez are like two peas in a pod.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like an evil version of George Lucas and Steven Spielberg.
Good analogy.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
I can see that.
And Psychodorf 9 with $2 super chat. Desperado is still my favorite. Thank you, Psychodorf 9.
What did you guys think about the Kill Bill films?
Oh, love the ultraviolence, the limb chopping, especially that scene with the 88. Oh God, that was just glorious.
Do you remember that scene at the very end of what is it? Deadpool 2, where you see Ryan Reynolds sit down to read this script for Green Lantern, and he's like, oh, and he's got that like look on his face, like that innocent smile. Okay. So I'm sitting down with my date to see Kill Bill in the theater, and I want my popcorn, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait. And it's like, boom, boom. Revenge is a dish best served cold. Old Klingon proverb. And I'm like, yeah! I knew then. Holy shit. I'm in for a good time. Everything from the like 70s pop on the theater, dun, 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 you know, and it's like now for our featured presentation, dun, 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 dun. And it was a different me that came out of that theater after that. I was like, you know, the doors busted open and I had that look just like the bride. Wow, 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 dun, 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 yeah. And I'm,
Loki had an awakening.
Yes. He goes swing katana and cut people's heads off and pull their eyeballs out. And, even the second movie, as soon as I saw Pai Mei, I was like, holy shit, I am in.
Loki went in a boy, but he came out a man.
That's right. The way he moved his beard, I wanted a long white beard like that. I was like, ho 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 ho. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm there with you, boss.
I finger Deathstroke. He taught you. Of course he did.
Of course he did. Because he didn't teach anybody the 5-finger death technique. Yeah, the 5-finger death touch technique. No, he didn't teach anybody that. He never teaches anybody that. Of course he taught you that.
Oh, but guys, don't forget, we've never had strong female leads in a film.
Oh, bullshit. Why did Pai Mei take your eye? Poor Ellie Driver. Oh, my God. Why did Pai Mei snatch out your eye, bitch? I called him a useless old fool. Oh, you shouldn't have done that.
You see somebody floating, you don't fuck with them.
Mark Dane Boogie Tired. I said it earlier. Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 is still the best comic book movie, not based on a comic. Yes. Absolutely.
That's a good summation of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the black and white scene when they're driving up in the second movie at the beginning and she's driving that car and she's like, on my way to kill him now. Dun, dun. There's a huge accident that happens in real life. This really happened. And it completely screwed up her neck. That car was like a death trap. And they're driving it on this road in California. And it literally, she loses control of the car. It didn't have power steering, all this shit. And she has this huge accident. And they kept that quiet for like 10 years before that came out, that she had this huge accident. And the studio was very, very like, no, this can never come out that this happened, that we almost killed Uma Thurman while we were filming Kill Bill 2.
Oh my God. I didn't know.
I never knew that. Never knew that.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can look up the accident. I know the accident's on YouTube. Give me just a second. Uma almost died. Kill Bill.
What did y'all think about the 5, 6, 7, 8s? I love that.
Do 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 do.
I love that band. I mean, that was so over the top. I mean, it was perfect. I mean, it was perfect for this film anyway.
Mm-hmm. Just think both of the films have some of the best choreographed fight scenes. I mean, when you think she's when they're fighting in the house and the daughter turns off, and they're fighting.
So this is like, I'm not going to play this because this is someone else's video, but you know, Kill Bill, Quentin Tarantino, and you see her driving, and she loses control of the car, and she crashes the car. This whole beat up piece of shit. She's like, ah! And they rush to her because yeah, she is screwed up and she is hurt, and she is hurt bad, and they've got to get her out of the car. They got to get her out safe. And they're in this back road, I think in Mexico, in California or Mexico, I can't remember. And it just, you know, there's the sword. There's, you know, the demon sword. And it's just, it was a hell of an accident in this piece of shit car, and she got really hurt.
Wow.
Almost killed her.
Learn something new every day. Never heard of that before.
No, I'd never heard of that either. Oh my god.
Well, yeah. I mean, can you imagine? You know, the Uma Thurman's last movie, Kill Bill 2, died making it. It was that close to happening. Rural Mexico crash. It was in Mexico. Rural Mexico. Okay, Pat S says it was in rural Mexico. Starring Uma's feet, then she crashed. I don't know why they had her in that car. That's one of those things I'm like, I just don't know why they had her. Why not have a stunt double, whatever, in the car? I never understood that.
Yeah, especially, you know, the way they were filming it, but they could have rotoscoped her in there or something afterwards.
Yeah. They could have had her in one of those. They had that whole scene with Bruce Willis in Pulp Fiction with the cab driver. That's on a set. That's not even out and about driving. That's just on a set where they've got a black and white screen that's showing, you know, traffic. That's all it was like a cab in a damn studio. I don't know why they just couldn't have done that, but they didn't. They actually had her out driving around.
Weird.
Yeah, because it wasn't even a stunt. It was just her driving down the road, talking.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Probably some bad roads, you know, rural Mexico. It was probably not great roads to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looking at that video, it just looks like she lost control and couldn't get it back in time.
Yeah. Same thing could have happened here in Louisiana with the way our roads are.
Yeah. Dee Myers, the stunt driver, should have been in the car instead of her, and they didn't even have a stunt driver. From what Pat S said, see, I never knew that. If the stunt was in the USA, a stunt driver would have been required. Most of the film was under $30 million. Yeah. Kill Bill was cheap. Kill Bill was cheap to make. It looks beautiful. It was beautifully done. It was beautifully written, and that's what brings you in.
Yeah, it also made a ton of money.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. God, man, after that first movie, you know, does she know, you know, you've got David Carradine. Does she know her daughter is still alive? And everybody's like, holy shit. And that's, you know, oh, Kill Bill Part 2. You know, you're going to have to come watch Part 2 if you want to find out what happens. You know, you just saw Uma take out the crazy 88 of these motherfuckers with samurai swords, and she cut them all down. You want to see what happens next? Come see Part 2. What a way to leave you wanting more.
Yeah. I love that scene when she says, you know, if you have your life, get out of here with it, you know, but all your limbs stay. They belong to me.
And then she's like, Soapy, you ain't going anywhere. You stay your ass down there.
Yep.
You're going to give a message to Bill, you bitch. I loved it when she takes those guys out in the dark and she's about to cut that one guy's head off and the lights come back on and it's the kid and she's like, oh, you little bastard. Didn't your mother tell you not to fuck around with the Yakuza?
Yeah, I love
like
that.
whipping his ass with the side of that sword.
Yep.
Go home to your mother.
You don't F around with the Yakuza.
And then he runs off.
Go home to your mother. Pat S. Jackie Brown, his most underrated. God, I love Jackie Brown and the Symphonics. It is the only movie Tarantino has ever done that wasn't 100% from his mind. It was based on Elmore Leonard's great book, Rum Punch. I did not know that. Pat S. I just assumed, wow, it's his movie. It's Jackie Brown. It is Jackie Brown. I love that. I love that movie.
Yeah, I like Jackie Brown, but it's one of the films I've only ever seen once. So I think, and that was a long time ago. So I think it's about time I had a rewatch of it.
Yeah,
AK-47.
I've not seen that one.
AK-47. When you absolutely positively have to kill every motherfucker in the room except no substitute. Again, Samuel L. Jackson's like, he knocks it out of the park. As Ordell, he absolutely knocks it out of the park. And Jackie Brown, Pam Grier as Jackie Brown, Robert Forster as Max Cherry. It doesn't get any better. Bridget Fonda, Michael Keaton. Well, that was the first movie I'd seen Michael Keaton in years. I was like, holy shit, it's Michael freaking Keaton. Robert De Niro, Chris Tucker. Even though Chris Tucker's only in it for a minute as Beaumont Livingston, you're just like, holy shit, it's Chris Tucker. Again, there's not enough appreciation for a cast in one of his films. He's worked with everyone. It's like, damn, he has worked with everyone. And he's making a Kill Bill 3, apparently.
Yes, that's what I heard as well.
Kind of wondering where it's going to take off, whether it's going to be from.
It's going to be the daughter of
the little girl that
the little
she
girl,
let
yes.
live, and she said, "Yeah, if you
one day
still feel raw about it, come look me up."
Yep, that is exactly what it is going to be about. Is that little girl coming to get her? And you killed my mom. You killed my mom in front of me, and now you got to pay. Now I'm older, and I grew up learning the ways of the Force, like to be a Jedi, like my mama. So,
out of all the movies I've seen Uma Thurman in, those are my two favorite. I don't know why. No, most of the other ones she's been in weren't that memorable to me.
Everything she's done with Quentin, I love. Everything from Mia Wallace to The Bride,
Pulp Fiction, all of that.
Yeah, I love it. I think one of the only other movies, of course, the Batman movie where she plays maybe, but the what was the it was the one with John Travolta.
Playing that from outer space.
No.
Oh.
I know she did one with Ben Affleck. I think it was called Payback or something like that, or Back. I don't know. It's something about some crazy movie.
Yeah, I definitely like her much better as the kind of action star. I think that's where her strengths lie.
Oh yeah, she did that. She did that comedy when she was Superwoman or whatever with Anna Faris.
Yeah.
Be Cool. Be Cool was what I was thinking of, and Be Cool was a sequel to John Travolta's Get Shorty. So you had Get Shorty with John Travolta, And then you had Be Cool, which was the sequel, and Uma's in that. And I remember seeing her in that with John Travolta again, and they do like a dance scene, and I was like, "Oh shit, here we go again." Of course, that's not.
I saw Get Shorty, but I didn't see the follow up film with it.
And thank you, D.D. Myers. I appreciate that. Thank you, and welcome back, Lorena.
Yeah, thank you.
What do you guys think of Inglourious Bastards? Because as you were saying earlier, he has his own kind of take on history, what could have been, so he twists it a little bit.
Yep.
That is actually on my watch list. I've not seen it yet.
Oh,
Neither have I. Neither have I, and I've
No,
heard
are you-
about it too.
Are you
Well,
serious?
I'm gonna tell you
Yeah,
what,
should
Brad
I just
Pitt
pick
is
myself?
over the top on that one. I mean, he's over the top.
Just cancel yourself now.
Oh,
Just cancel yourself now, Josh.
God, that film's got
There
one of
is
the best bad guys with Christoph Waltz.
there is a scene where of course everybody knows the Brad Pitt scene where he's like, you owe me 100 Nazi scalps and I want my scalps, where he talks about being from Tennessee, and I'm like, holy shit, it's my dad. And then, yeah, seriously, he's like, I'm Aldor Ray and I Comanche bloodline, and I'm like, holy shit, it's my father. But from the gloves, from the yellow work gloves to the accent, to the mustache, to the Indian background, the Indian heritage. I'm Cherokee. I've got Cherokee blood in me. Yeah, who knew? Loki's not just a fat white guy, or an obese white guy. I know that's the rumor right now. Loki's just an obese white guy. No, I'm actually.
Daga brings up a good point. Loki's taste is suspect at best. He's charcoaled meat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Daga. So I'll tell this little story. I went and saw Daga back in October, and me and Daga hung out. And Daga being like, man, you came all the way, you drove all the way here. I at least have to take you out for dinner. So we go to this 5-star restaurant. I'm talking about one of those restaurants where it's like they tell you what they have. You don't get a menu, and they don't tell you how much it is. They're just like, so they tell you what they have, and they don't have, really a menu, or they had it on iPads or some shit, whatever it was. Anyway, and Daga orders, and then I order. Of course, I'm like, you know what? I want the buffalo burger with the mozzarella and the bacon, but I want you to burn it. And oh, excuse me, sir? Yes, burn it. Burn it. I want flame broiled burntness. If you bring that thing to me and it's not completely dead, and I mean completely dead, if there's any moo left in it, I'm gonna send it back. And Dagus just like, I can't believe it. He takes Loki out to this 5-star restaurant, and not only does he order a buffalo burger with bacon and mozzarella, but he tells them to burn the shit out of it. I can only imagine the chef. Sacre bleu, what is this? They want me to burn it? Burn that food? Yes, that's what he said. Chef. Americans. See it now.
Well done is the only option. Yeah.
Yeah, well done. Burnt to a crisp. You better burn it or it's going bad.
But the moos give it flavor.
With me, just kind of slide it across there on one side and then slide it back on the other side and bring it here.
I'm with Dave Bob, just walking through a warm room and I'm done. Yeah.
So there's a
medium
scene,
at most.
There's a scene in Inglourious Bastards that so reminded me of The Dirty Dozen, where they go to recruit a guy named Sergeant Hugo Stiglitz.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is a former Nazi that did nothing but kill Nazi officers. And they show this long scene of him like holding a pillow over this guy's head and shooting him with a machine gun, stabbing this one guy, and he's locked up because they're going to kill him because he's been killing Nazis. And you see this guard standing there, and suddenly this guy runs by with a machine gun and takes out the guard, and Brad Pitt as Aldo Rain and all his guys come in. He's like, so you're Sergeant Hugo Stiglitz? And he's like, Yeah, and he's like, I'm Lieutenant Aldo Ray, and these are my boys. And we wanted to know, you kill Nazis, but are you ready to go pro?
Go pro.
Go pro. We were wondering if you were ready to go pro. And it's just holy shit, man. How does he knows dialogue like nobody else. He knows dialogue like nobody else. I've never seen anything like it. And that's and we'll go around the room one last time because that's my favorite part of everything he does is his dialogue. And we'll start with Project Storytime again and go around. What is your favorite aspect of him as a director?
Honestly, I love his attention to detail. Because he's done a lot of period pieces, and they feel like they should. From the costumes, the cars. There's not an aspect in the film that he has not considered, and that's something I love about him.
Awesome. What about you, Lorena?
I am so sorry. I got distracted by a work email.
Oh,
Can
it's
you
okay.
repeat the question, please?
As a director, what is your favorite part of him as a director, as a filmmaker? Anything from dialogue to detail to anything in his movies. What would you say is your favorite aspect of Quentin Tarantino?
The fact that he isn't afraid to push the envelope like crazy. I mean, he's not afraid to take risks, and when he does, the payoff is just great. If he's going really really out there, there's some huge payoff that's coming. Also, the cinematography, like just the way that he has the detail in setting up each scene, especially with respect to Pulp Fiction and my other favorite, which is Jackie Brown. There isn't a wasted shot anywhere.
Yeah,
in
we
those
brought
films.
up the AK scene with Samuel Jackson.
Mhm.
And the symphonics. And the symphonics in that movie. It's like, holy
Mhm.
shit. It's all wonderful. It's all kick ass.
Yeah. He's a meticulous filmmaker, and you pretty much know if it's a Quentin Tarantino movie, you're not getting a half-assed film.
Mm-hmm.
No,
You're really not, and that's a very rare thing to say about someone, especially a filmmaker, which is sadly too rare these days.
no, I agree. I don't think I've ever, I don't have any gripes about his movies at all. And that's a weird thing for me is that there's always a bad egg somewhere. And I've never watched a bag of egg with Quentin Tarantino. Dave Bob.
I like his overall style of filmmaking. You know what you're going to get coming into the film. You know it's going to be violent. You know it's going to have a lot of colorful language, and he's not afraid to use any of it. He doesn't blush. He doesn't look away from it. I mean, he just puts it out there in your face, and by God, it works.
It does. It absolutely does. I can't think of a moment where it doesn't in any of his movies, Dave Bob. He always manages to make it work. Purple.
I love that he has his own vision. The use of non-linear storylines, the violence, but it's always used well. It's not used just to shock people. The fact that he manages to work humor into his films, even though it can be about slavery, or it can be about World War II, or it can be about Sharon Tate. There's still humor running through it. And I'm going to have to agree with Lariana. He is a craftsman. He knows what he wants from his films. He knows what he wants from his actors. And because he is so good at what he does, he gets the best possible performances from people.
He does. He does. I can't imagine someone being upset that they're working on a Tarantino movie.
Hmm.
You know, the like Ray Fisher playing Cyborg in Justice League and all these problems and all these complaints and all these issues. I've never heard of anything like that with Tarantino. Even when people were trying to get him canceled because of the dialogue he used in Hateful Eight and Django and other movies, you never hear anyone complaining, I had to work with him. I had to work with this asshole. I had to work with this director. I had to work with this guy that's just so crazy and wants me to say the craziest of crazy things. You never hear that.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you talk about getting canceled in 2020 or 2021. That's what they're going to try and do, and everyone will back him up. There's always a reason why he's doing this or why he's having you say this. When the people that work for you are coming out saying, "Oh no, hell no, you're not going to get him canceled," that's huge, especially today.
Do you guys think that if he did ever manage to make a Star Trek film, it would be a really good palette cleanser for what we had?
Well, it would be different.
The preview I saw on YouTube would have been epic. And when I think about the Klingons, I'm going through the ship with their disruptors raised, and like it's like that scene where it looks like they're on like a belt, like the floor's moving, but it doesn't look like their legs are moving, like they're just moving through the ship, looking back and forth with their disruptors raised. I can see that, and it's like I'm waiting for that scene where the Federation security guards are going to meet the Klingons, and it's going to be an all-out, drag-out kill fest from Tarantino. And I'm like, I want that. Oh, we lost Purple. I want that. Go ahead, Lorena.
Oh no, I just said, "Oops, we lost Purple."
Oh.
Well, Prince Philip died, so she's mourning now, I guess.
Oh shit.
Yep, 99 years old.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, end of an era.
Yep.
Duke of Edinburgh.
Yes. Oh man, they were married for such a long time.
Yeah.
I guess we're not getting Purple back. Maybe we're gonna cut out. I don't know. Thank you all. Thank you seriously for being here. For the last couple of months, we've been doing this director series, and thank you guys. We're gonna be doing something else next week. I hope all of you come back. Fridays, I love getting to do Fridays because we always do something positive on Fridays. I really enjoy ending the week that way. And
we're gonna have to just
really
start calling this Positive Fridays.
Yeah,
Positive
I like that.
Yeah.
Loki's always bitching about something unless it's Friday. It's the end of the week, and it's like, heck yeah. So I know we've got a member stream coming up later today, around 4 or 5 o'clock. I've got to get that up. But do you guys have anything coming up? We'll start with Josh and work our way around.
Well, as always, I'll be on Heirs of Chaos's channel tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. We are going to be looking at a video of praising Star Trek Into Darkness, and Lady Gravemaster is scheduled to join us.
Wow, dude, I love Lady Gravemaster.
She's awesome.
Yeah, but I'm excited about that.
We've got 2 Dave Bobs.
Man, I don't know what
2
the
of
hell.
them. Wow.
What?
Cloned yourself?
What the hell happened?
First we lost Purple, and then now we have 2 Dave Bobs. I was like, wait a minute. I get a sound anytime someone pops in the green room. It's like bloop to let me know. I'm like, oh, it's Purple. I'm like, no, it's and then we lost the clone died.
Uh-oh, failed clone.
It was a quantum Dave Bob.
Yeah. Invincible.
Oh, so you've got Lady Gravemaster coming by. Heirs of Chaos is on Saturday.
Yep, that's the plan.
Awesome. Mariana, what do you got going on?
Well, today at 12 noon p.m., of course, there's my lunch table show that I co-host with Fat Steven Seagal. And our guest today is going to be Justin Proper. So we're really looking forward to having Justin on. And then, of course, on Sunday is my Welcome to Florida live stream, where we are going to be talking about the diversity changes coming to the Jungle Cruise ride. Apparently, Trader Sam has been removed from the Jungle Cruise ride at Disney.
What?
And we are not happy about it. So we're
You
going
are
to be talking
kidding.
about that.
Oh my
Oh, he's
God.
gone. Oh yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
He got
There's
canceled.
like video.
He got
well,
canceled.
the whole ride got canceled, and they're redoing it to make it more culturally sensitive.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah, the first thing that they took out was Trader Sam. No mention of him or anything like that. He's just gone. It's just I'm like, put a fork in this ride. It's done.
Yeah.
Wow.
They keep going down this trail. Nobody's going to be wanting to even visit anymore.
No, they're homogenizing everything. It's just like, why freaking go?
Cut out anything you find questionable, even if it's not bad, just questionable. Cut it out and act like it never existed. Pat asks, maybe we can do Eastwood on the 4th of July? Possibly. Pat asks, possibly. I don't know if we can get the whole crew back together to do it on the 4th of July. We might do a best actor series. I don't know. You know, what has this person been in this absolute?
Tommy Wiseau.
So you might do that too. Dave Bob, what do you got going on?
Not a lot. Springtime, I'm usually just out doing my thing.
All right. Well, I have not gotten an update from Purple. I think whatever happened is possibly.
Yeah, she may have lost internet or power or something like that.
I got blipped out. My whole browser just went down.
Wow.
All of a sudden with no warning. I have no clue what happened.
Dega Outlaw says Reina Creole needs to do a cooking show.
It's something I've been thinking about. So we'll see.
I'm definitely not doing one. Burning things with Loki. Burnt charcoal meat with Loki.
Charcoal
with Loki.
The other white meat.
They're okay. I can make some. I can make some kick-ass Italian food that's not burnt. Thank you. I can make some kick-ass Italian food. It's just burgers and steak and shit like that. I just burn it. I like it burnt. I don't know why. I've always have. So anyway, we'll leave on that note. Burn it down to the ground, Dragon Fire. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me this morning and talking about a director that I absolutely love and one that sounds like you guys love.
Absolutely.
So, everyone have a great Friday. Do not miss out on the lunch table of the Phantom Menace over at Loriana's channel later today at noon. Everyone have a great one, and we will catch you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.